I think what I would like to do is draw the background first before we go in and finish the line, the color work. And I'm inclined to go with red. I think what I also want to do is, I think I want to do that. Okay. So I'm inclined to go with red in the background. Since he's so blue and yellowish. Pink would also be good though. Maybe we should do pink? Ah! That's a bit bigger than I was wanted. I feel like pink might be the way to go. I think pink might be it. The particle size. Let's see. I think we want to do light. Is it really? Okay. I might take these. Okay, they might be better in there. I definitely, I knew what you meant. Hmm. I put it in this layer? That seems a little bit better. I don't know, the worst thing about like phone autocorrect is like half the time it just doesn't autocorrect correctly. You know what I mean? There's so many times I go back and look at conversations and I'm like, I'm surprised anyone knew what I was saying because my phone was just like, you meant this word, right? And I'm like, no, I really didn't. Like, my phone is absolutely convinced that I really mean B-Day instead of V-Day. Like, 100% thinks I'm trying to wish people a happy birthday today. Which, okay, I don't, whatever. Zoller! Now that I have like a new phone, I have to retrain it on words that I do like to use, which is annoying. Like, I had trained my other phone to know that I didn't mean duck. Of course, I had the opposite problem where when I did try to type duck, it wouldn't. Did the song just repeat itself? Just put on a different song here for a little bit. So I watched the new Reese Witherspoon, Ashton Kutcher rom-com. Just to have something on. I think I was diamond painting. And Dan was doing something else. And I didn't quite finish it that night because we needed to get to bed. But I turned around and there was Dan just like staring intently at the screen. And I was like, "You're really invested in it, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to know what happens." So we finished watching it yesterday. Dan really liked it. I thought it was just okay. I usually think like rom-coms are super fun. So I was telling Dan about Bride Wars, which that one was not fun. Bridesmaids? I actually haven't seen Bridesmaids. I've been meaning to, I just haven't. Bride Wars, it's older. And it's Anne Hathaway and Kate Hudson. And they play childhood friends. They're like obsessed with getting married, and they really want to get married. Like, I think it was at the Plaza or something in New York. And somehow they both accidentally get booked for the same day at the Plaza. So they're trying to get the other one to book for a different day. Yeah, like, I don't think the premise is necessarily bad, but they're just really, really awful to each other in a way that makes you wonder, how are they even best friends? Like, the whole emotional payoff for the film is their friendship. And it's just, they immediately go to, well, not immediately, but they almost like immediately go to war with each other. And you're just like, are you really like best friends? And they do really, really awful things to each other. And then, of course, like, Chris Pratt's in it. And Chris Pratt is just being a big douche. Because he's engaged to like Anne Hathaway's character, and he's really controlling. And he doesn't start off that way. I guess you could argue that there's definitely hints of it from the beginning. Yeah, but she dumps him in a way that, like, I don't think is satisfying. Like, okay, so the big climax of the film is they're both getting married on the same day because they didn't relent and they didn't make up before their wedding days. And then they kind of see each other and remember how much they love each other, and both realize that they really wish they could be friends again. But while they're having this big realization, one of the brides, Kate Hudson, she had originally sabotaged Anne Hathaway's wedding by replacing the montage video with a video of them from spring break when they were in college. So Anne Hathaway is like really, really drunk and pole dancing on it, essentially. So Kate Hudson feels bad. She tries to get the sabotage video pulled out, but it doesn't happen in time, and that video plays as Anne Hathaway is walking down the aisle. And so leading up to this point, Chris Pratt's character keeps kind of like not only demeaning Kate Hudson's character as not being a proper woman, but keeps telling Anne Hathaway like, oh, I'm really glad you're such like a nice and put together and mature woman, and that you don't go drinking, you don't party and stuff like that. And like pretty much that he just wants her to be this docile floor mat teacher that she currently is. So that video plays, and then they get in a big fight, and he's just kind of like, I can't believe you did that. You know, it was when they were in college, so it was like, you know, almost like 10 years ago at that point or something. And he just gave her this big speech about how she was a big disappointment and embarrassment, and how she ruined their wedding. Not necessarily because of her behavior, it was a little bit of that, but he was like trying to say that she ruined their wedding because of something she did when she was in college, because that video played. And then she's like very nicely tells him that, you know, I think we're not compatible anymore, and that we just didn't grow together as a couple, and we need to break up. And she's all like very nice and mature about it. And I was like, no, he was so awful to you. And like, he was so controlling, and he was so mean. And I think the worst part is, I think the audience is maybe supposed to agree with him in a way. Like, if you've seen The Devil Wears Prada and Anne Hathaway's, her character, Andy's boyfriend in that one, I feel like they wanted Chris Pratt's character to, I think they wanted people to be on his side. The thing is, like, I hate Andy's boyfriend in The Devil Wears Prada as well, like the film version. He's awful. Like, her friends are awful. Yeah, he's also like, because she's taking the job at the magazine, because after a year she can basically get in with any publication she wants. And you know, obviously it's a really not just a demanding job, but also a demeaning job, and she hates it, and she's constantly late for things and missing out on her life essentially. And then her boyfriend is such a jerk about it. He's like, you've changed and you don't prioritize me anymore. And it's like, he's not wrong, but also, you know, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for her, and it was only supposed to be 1 year, and he was really, really supportive of it when she, at the very beginning of the movie. And then, like, I know in the book, it's a lot easier to, I think his name is Nate, it's a lot easier to sympathize with Nate, the boyfriend, because Andy's, like, worse in the book. And like, she does, I feel like because it's Anne Hathaway, it's not as bad as she could be because it's Anne Hathaway playing her. But like, because in the book, like, Andy actually does cheat on her boyfriend. Like, no maybes, actually cheats on him. But anyway, yeah, I'm just Chris Pratt's character being Chris Pratt. There is a book, yeah. I think the film's better than the book. But I'm only going to say that because Andy's such a dislikable character in the film, or not in the film, the book. And that's fine. But I feel like once you've seen the film, it's really hard to go back to the book and not just be like, eh, Andy, why? Miranda is much more of a villainous character in it as well, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's probably better for her to be more of a villain than they really humanized her in the film, and I think obviously because she's played by Meryl Streep. And I do actually like that humanization of her character, and what they kind of pretty much explored with it was, you know, being this very powerful woman and still being expected to be like a woman, quote unquote, you know, because when we talk about Miranda doing, you know, cutthroat, I say cutthroat quotation marks, or making hard decisions, like she gets labeled as a bitch, and it's because she's a woman, you know, she wouldn't if she was a man. So I like that they explored that in the film, because it's not really, I mean, it's touched upon in the book, but she's such like a caricature. Did you read the Princess Diary books? Because it's like that, like Grandmama or Grandmamere is awful. Okay. Same thing happens in the Princess Diaries. Oh, another Anne Hathaway film. Grandmamere is awful in the books. Like, she's really, really mean, and she's like, all the characters are actually pretty terrible in the books. She does actually make characters nice. Mia she's obnoxious in the books too. Like, the books for me were kind of hard to read, and I read them as a teenager, and it's just, I found Mia really unlikable, and all of her friends or classmates were also really unlikable, and Grandmamere was also really mean, and then her dad's actually alive in the book series. It's just that he can no longer have children because of his cancer that he's in remission for, but he's infertile. Well, infertile is not the right word to use for a guy. You know what I mean, though. And he's just like moping in the background all the time because he, like, I think essentially he's going to get passed over on the throne for Mia. Like, the only nice thing is there's a lot of books, so if you're really interested in the universe itself, there's a lot more meat there. But because, like, she decided to give Mia the annoying vegan personality that constantly talks about Greenpeace and how much she likes Greenpeace, and everything she wants to do revolves around Greenpeace. So if you thought Lily was like an annoying activist in the film, like Mia is like Lily's level in the book, and then Lily is like worse than her. And the thing that's kind of also extra annoying about that is like it was maybe a little bit ahead of its time to have a protagonist that like cared so much about the environment and impact. Which was kind of cool, but because Mio was such a flawed teenager character, like I felt kind of more of like a realistic, when I say realistic depiction, I mean like I said, she was aggravating and teenagers are aggravating and you weren't always supposed to like everything that Mia does. It just unfortunately makes the message about environmentalism also obnoxious. But I do remember the author talking about when the movie was first being like pitched, and she was talked to about how they wanted to change Grandma Mir's character. They're like, well, these changes came at the request of the studio, and it was basically they wanted to make her like nicer, like more of a grandma character a little bit. And she like obviously was upset because her version of the grandma character was not nice. So it'd be a pretty big deviation. I kind of agree, like I don't think you need to make characters nicer just to make them more palatable for audiences. But then when she heard it was because, well, Julie Andrews wants to play the character and she would like her to be nicer. And she was just like, oh, well, if Julie Andrews wants it. Which, honestly, I would do the same thing. If Julie Andrews wanted to play my, like, angry grandma character but want her to be nicer, I'd be like, yes, Julie Andrews, we will do whatever you want. Please be in the movie version of my book. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, that's one of my new sparkle brushes. Well, I don't know if it's new. I think I might have had it this entire time and just like didn't use it because I forgot it existed. And that sounds like something I would do. Oh my god, Bubbles! Hi! That's such a cute raid message. Hi guys! Oh no, Because that's what my patrons told me to do. That's what we're doing. He's looking very princely today, that's for sure. You're buns. Oh, you're really late, but no one's in your class. They keep starting late. Oh, okay. I'm doing all right. Just trying to get through this year. This year that's already been like really bad. How has your year been? I feel like it's not even the end of February and I'm just like, oh. A guided meditation? Can you not meditate to like this? I don't like that. I don't know. I don't know if it like... VCham is also trying to be like, well, you know, it could get better. It's just the start of the year. And I'm like, it's a problem that this is already the start of the year. You know what I mean? I don't know. You're being optimistic. Yeah, I guess one of us has to be optimistic. I feel like I'm not a pessimist. But I used to think that I was a realist, but I feel like I'm just like about this year. You're watching. Oh no, and that's expensive to fix too. I'm sorry about the heater, because like heater's not something you want to break during winter. Like, not at all. Oh no, that's also bad because it's like one thing happens and you're like, oh, okay, this sucks, but you know, then you deal with it and then immediately the next terrible thing happens and you're just like, really? I feel like that was January for me for sure. February, like February hasn't been like the worst, but you know, it hasn't relented either. That's $85 a request? Seriously? That's not... You know what? January's the best month. Shut up! Alright, alright. Good luck on your class. Let's see. Oh, that's Dan. Dan's on his way home. I can't show you guys the card he got me because I don't have my face cam on. But, apparently he put the card on my desk last night before we went to bed. But I usually get up with Tarkin in the morning during the week to take him out to potty so Dan doesn't have to get up before his alarm goes off. And Dan was like, I was worried you were going to see it when you took Tarkin out to the bathroom. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't. But I guess if you're really worried, you could just put it on my desk before you left in the morning. But it's two T-Rexes trying to hug. And they can't. And the inside says, biggest hugs to you on Valentine's Day. Dan usually, like, he likes dad jokes, and he usually gets me, like, a pun card. I have last year's on my desk still. It has, like, 2 mammoths, and it says, I woolly woolly love you. That look like? Okay. I think he's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and add the finishing touches, Sparkles. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Okay, and then we have that, and then maybe 15. Oh my goodness. Look how beautiful he is. Couple more finishing touches. I want to add some more depth to the lines here, so we're gonna use the multiply layer. We're gonna airbrush around here. The most handsomest of boys. Okay, then we will flow dodge in here. Do add glow instead. Oh my goodness, I think he turned out so good. It's our little Saiyan prince. Oh, he's so good. Okay, let me sign it. Ooh. Okay, yeah, it's signed. Save. Save it as a ping. Okay, and then get the watermark on here. Multiply. Okay. Change the image resolution. Around there. Okay. Woohoo! We finished both the drawings today. In about 2 hours even, so that's exciting. So we're gonna go ahead and stop there. Tomorrow is the continuation of Sailor Moon Another Story. We are, where am I? Working on Venus's chapter still. So we're gonna pick up from there and see how far we can go. And then Thursday, I'm either going to be working on some of these outstanding projects that I didn't finish last year, or I'll be working on my new upcoming Magical Girl project. I want to make a logo for it, so maybe we'll do both. Switch off on some things. So anyway, okay. Who is... None of our friends are streaming, so I guess we'll just close out here today. Again, thank you guys so much for coming by. Bun Buns, I know that you are in your class. Thank you for the raid. I hope your class is going well. And thank you for everyone else who came in on the raid too. I hope we see you guys tomorrow or Thursday, or if not, I will catch you guys next time. Bye!